If you want to share your faith with others, don't be a Christian influencer. Here's 4 reasons that being a Christian influencer absolutely sucks. Number 1, it's heartbreaking. You'll spend hours creating content, pouring your heart and soul into creating videos. And when you finally post it online, after all the hard work, your video will get 18 views. Number 2, you'll get distracted. You'll start obsessing over views, likes, and followers. Pretty soon, they just become numbers and you start caring more about what they are doing for you instead of what you can offer them. Number 3, even if one of your videos blows up, it's the crappiest one you made, and you'll go nuts trying to figure out why it worked and the others didn't. Number 4, when you start doing well, pride takes over, and you start giving yourself all of the credit until your next video flops and you realize the algorithm is an absolute beast. The better way is to share the message God gave you and let Him do the rest. Realize that if your video got 18 views, those are the 18 people that needed it. And your job is not to influence, but to be a witness. So tell your story and leave the influencing up to Jesus.